I'm Katie.
And I'm Kay.
And you're listening to the Babes of Quinte podcast.
Did you see what Alexis posted?
No, but I know it's going to be stunning because her creativity is out of this world.
Here, look.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It's incredible.
Real talk, I don't even want to get married, but if I did, I'd want Alexis to do my florals. Her modern boho aesthetic is like right up my alley.
She does dried bouquets too. I saw one the other week that was full of dried lavender and bunny's tail. It was so cute.
Get a little more pretty in your doom scrolling and follow @Designs by Alexis Rose on Facebook and Instagram.
The Family Dental Center is locally owned with offices in Belleville, Frankfurt, and Coburg.
FDC has a team of highly qualified, caring dental professionals and modern technology to offer patients a stress-free and amazing dental experience.
Make sure you stay up to date on all things Family Dental Center by liking them on Facebook @Family Dental Center and following them on Instagram @FDC Family. We're doing it.
Are we?
We're podcasting.
Are we?
It's like episode, 49? Yeah.
40.
Yeah, I think this is 49.
49.
No, 48 was last week, I think.
Does that mean next week is our one? No.
No.
That's like in 2 weeks.
So for those of you who don't know, we're coming up on our 1 year of this nonsense that is a podcast.
Which I was having a real big anxiety spiral about the podcast.
Same.
Like the last couple of weeks being like, is it worth it?
Same. Oh my gosh, twinning. It's like, I felt your energy.
Yeah, that's why I've been like so weird and depressed lately.
I know. I think though, I did hear a thing though, where it was like, when you feel like when you feel like giving up or like that you don't know what you're doing anymore, that's when it's time to like keep going because you're doing something right.
Yeah, so I had a meeting with the bald men today, not about the podcast at all.
No, about your actual job.
About my actual job. And the podcast came up naturally.
Yeah.
And they were just very positive about it.
People are very positive about it. I feel like we're the hardest people.
100%. Well, I think the problem is that I think people don't take us seriously.
What?
So I have this thing where, because you watch Survivor now.
I love Survivor.
So the most recent...
Caroline. I know exactly who you're about to talk
the most
about.
recent season of Survivor, season 44. There's a contestant, and her name is Caroline, and she, throughout the first chunk of the whole season, she's coming off like completely unhinged.
Yeah. Like,
absolutely like nuts. And then you get into her story about her being an addict and like struggling with mental health and being like, you know what, like, yeah, I'm like this, but I'm also these things. Mm-hmm. And I'm just kind of like, oh right, like I can be anxious, I can be chronically depressed, I can have ADHD, I can have all these things, and I can talk about, feet photos on a podcast, but still be really fucking good
at what we're doing,
at my day job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
you are really good at your day job.
I thank you. See, now I'm trying to like take compliments and not just like
panic.
Reject them.
I do that. Yeah, I panic.
There was a moment of panic.
I know. I saw it. No one else could see it, but I saw it.
But yeah, no, I think that is one of the things I struggle with the most is that people, or I perceive people not taking me seriously because I am, I don't know,
we're not like the cookie cutter. I've never felt that I was like the quote unquote like cookie cutter image of one like
professionalism,
a proper female or professionalism. And I think it's tricky to try and like take on. It's like having like an identity crisis.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I still be myself but be a business bish?
Well, I can certainly say that we talked about how you are the hardest working person I know. And
thank you. That's me taking a compliment.
Yeah, no, I literally talked to the bald men, which is...
Don't make me cry.
Yeah, no, about how you are literally a total boss and you're killing it.
Thank you. I'm not
ever since you've been back.
Panic
cry?
No.
Okay, good.
I'm not crying.
But yeah, no, we had a little fangirl moment. Or I certainly did. But I could
They
have
were like, she's fine.
I could have talked about you in that meeting for like ever.
Yeah, I'm pretty obsessed with you. I think we're a good match.
Yeah, they said that it was good that we got put in the same office.
They were very worried about that too.
I know.
They didn't know it was going to happen.
And I was like, yeah, no, we match energy and we throw ideas off of each other. It's honestly...
And we can just sit and work. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying is like, you
It's
know, when
pretty
we have
wild.
to sit, you know, just throw headphones on and do our thing.
do it. Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. I always thought it was a good idea.
I did too, because I was also tired of my mini desk in the hallways.
They were like, yeah, we knew that wasn't like a permanent solution.
I wasn't even supposed to be in office, so here we are.
Now we have a podcast.
It is crazy. I was thinking about it because, so everyone, we are going to put out a special episode on July 4th because that is our 1
52nd
year.
episode.
Yeah, that's like officially the 1 year mark. That's when we put out our first episode was July 4th of last year.
Is this going to be like a trend every year?
I think so. Like
We
July 4th, like our birthday.
Oh,
Isn't that fun?
are we going to say, oh, we should have a birthday party.
Oh, I do like that idea.
I wish I had enough time to actually plan a babe's birthday party, but it's in
Maybe
like
next
2 weeks.
year. Yeah. Again, we still have our other job, which is technically the priority. And lives.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And social lives and
Yeah.
problems and
So many problems. But we're working on them. But I look back and I'm like, it's only been a year. Like so much has happened for both of us,
honestly,
which we haven't really talked about.
maybe we'll talk about it in
Maybe
the
we'll
episode.
talk about it in the episode. So you'll have to tune in.
Yeah. And I just know that now I have a happier tummy. I started drinking kombucha today.
She said, is this what all kombucha tastes like? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like mold.
I'm so sorry, Alex.
It is an acquired taste. Like you're like, what am I drinking?
Okay. It's not that I don't like it. I don't not like it.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
But it's weird.
It's
but
not
like,
a
my
normal
tummy
drink.
isn't mad about it.
No, it's like a probiotic.
I know, and I think I need more probiotics in my life.
Probably.
Because I've been treating myself like shit, and I'm ready to not stop treating myself like shit.
Yeah, it's weird doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm proud of you too, because you've been like, the last couple of weeks, you've been like really...
My stomach is very angry, and sometimes I don't take care of myself in the sense of nourishing my body. I just throw things in my mouth.
Same.
So I really was like, okay, I need to get it together because my stomach is so mad at me. And it was like a weird switch, but now I'm just more conscious about fueling my body with like what it needs and not just like shoving things in my mouth when I'm hungry.
That's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed, and you've been like, you just seem like lighter.
Yeah, my whole body hurts, but that's like normal, I think, for me. I hold a lot of tension.
Yeah, you need a massage.
Yeah, I do.
Jeanette, get on that shit.
She does give a great back massage.
Shout out to Jeanette's hands.
Strong hands.
I mean, have you seen... What was it?
I don't know, I'm scared.
Who was I talking to about... I think... I was talking to... Who was I talking to? I was fangirling over Jeanette and her, like, flipping sheep around.
That's what? She's shearing 80 sheep today. It's her biggest number yet.
That's insane.
Yeah. I'm
That's
proud
so
of her.
many sheep.
Yeah. She's going to be exhausted, and it's hot today, but it'll be good.
What a total boss.
I'm trying to think. She should be finishing, I don't know, soon. 8 hours? I don't know.
That's a lot of time to shear a sheep.
Probably doesn't even take that long. She can shear a sheep in like 3 minutes.
What?
Her brother can do it in like a minute and a half.
I feel like we need to have her on. I need to learn more about
She
this.
panics whenever I bring it up.
Can I ask her?
Sure.
Will she panic if I ask her?
She will always panic.
What if we do it not here?
Yeah, we could do that. Remember that one day she walked in and she is in one episode for a little bit.
Yeah.
But she panicked.
What if we get really stoned beforehand?
Perfect.
Perfect.
We'll have to do it after
You have to do it
hours.
out of after hours and
Babes
out of
after dark.
with Jeanette.
We get high. Should we talk about this week's episode?
We should.
Deanna.
Yeah.
What a fabulous human.
So Deanna's the executive director of the Quinte Museum in Quinte West.
And the owner of Deanna Way Photography.
Multi-talented.
So much schooling, so much greatness. It was
one
a great
person.
story.
Yeah, so we met her at Brazen. Shout out Jenny.
Every episode.
And we were all sitting at the same table, and we all trauma dumped on each other.
We did.
And yeah, so we just kept in touch, and she's super badass, and we're like, we want you on the podcast.
Yeah, well, we also got to go to the museum for a chamber event, and like just her passion for what she's doing and her knowledge is really cool.
Yeah, no, she's like walking around talking about dinosaur and like whale bones and like fossils and like cleaning things, and I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah, so we were like,
fascinating.
Now you're on the podcast, and she did. She showed up, and she was very open, which was nice. So
I think this is one of my favorite episodes because of how open she was, and just like the story that she told and how she got to where she is. And I find her fascinating, and I found out that we're almost neighbors.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just think she's one of the coolest people I've met.
And now we do lunch dates with her sometimes.
Yeah.
Without further ado,
here's our episode.
Enjoy. Today we have a Quinte transplant who relocated to the area from Ottawa. Her first job was at the Disney store in the Bayview Mall, but I love that was her first job. Deanna Way is a gem of a human that we first met in person at Brazen. She has a badass list of education, so she may just be our most qualified guest yet. After high school, she completed a Bachelor of Arts in History and Philosophy from Carleton University, and then went on to Algonquin College to complete an Advanced Diploma in Applied Museum Studies. She went abroad to receive a Master's of Library and Information Science from Robert Gordon University. She lives in Belleville, but is our first guest to say they would rather live in Trenton, so we'll unpack that later. She is the executive director of the Quinte West Museum of Natural History and is a big part of the reason why Quinte has the coolest dinosaur and whale exhibit. She is also the owner of Deanna Way Photography and shoots weddings and elopements in Ottawa and PEC. Plus, she is a cat mom to 3 fur babies. She is impressive and overall a solid human. Babes of Quinte, please welcome Deanna Way, the executive director of the Quinte Museum of Natural History and the owner of Deanna Way Photography. Did I get it all?
Pretty much. So I actually didn't go away. I actually did it online for Robert Gordon.
Lame.
I know. They actually invited me to the graduation in Aberdeen, and I was like, I really wanted to go because it was like the course. It wasn't just online; like you were actually doing school with students in the classroom as well. So it was like a hybrid thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't actually go because I was working at RCI at the time. I was like completing my master's while working like my job.
Like
40 hours a week, but like if you're at RCI, it was like overtime all the time. So like when I was completing my master's thesis, I was working like 55 to like 60-hour weeks, did the master's thesis, and then like, yeah.
How?
I got injured actually. I busted my finger really bad. So anyway, so that's that. And then it is actually Bayshore Mall.
I got so excited.
Oh yeah, no, Bayshore.
I think when I was typing it, I was probably just like, Bayview Mall. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Bayview Mall. I'm thinking like Kyle Wolven song.
Oh yeah, the Quinte Mall.
So not the Bayview Mall. Oh.
Yeah.
How was the Disney store? What happened there?
It was great. I used to do like the box stuff. Like I would like unload I was a box boy.
Oh.
And so I would like take out all of the toys and put them on the shelves and stuff. But it was crazy when I worked there. We had so many boxes and so much stuff that even the managers had to call the fire marshal a few times because it was like the conditions in there were awful. It was just like you would climb on boxes to get to like you wouldn't even use a ladder. There was no way you could put a ladder in there. So you'd like climb to the top of like a shelving unit to grab like, I don't know, like a Tigger off the shelf. And then, yeah.
That's an HR nightmare.
It is.
What's like, was there like a highlight movie that came out where everyone was just like nuts about a certain toy?
Well, High School Musical 2 was a big one.
So good.
Katie's like, yes.
Yeah.
That's past my time.
Bet on it. Well, Zac Efron, actually.
Yeah. That used to play on loop. So they had like a 30-minute video that would play, like there was a TV, and then these songs would just play on loop. So
I'm
like,
not gonna stop till I get my shot.
yeah, exactly.
That's who I am, that's my plan. We'll end up on top, you can bet on it. I'm not editing that
Or like
out.
Sleeping Beauty. It's like, what's that song? I know you. I
Oh my
walked with you
goodness.
once upon a dream. Okay, it's like that song. I don't know. I know all the Disney songs. It's kind of
This is now
unfortunate.
just a Disney sing-along episode.
It could be.
I used to, downstairs when I had my own office, I used to put on Disney songs in my headphones on Spotify when I was feeling sad.
Nice.
I think in high school I studied to Disney songs.
I mean, yeah,
Don't know why.
because it makes you happy.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you work at the Disney store, then you just want to rip out your earballs.
Yeah. Your earballs. That's a new one. Didn't know we had those.
I enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah.
Do you classify yourself as a crazy cat lady?
No, maybe. Because I did go into Pet Value the other day, and there was a cat, and it just immediately started purring against the little cage, and I was like, I want it. I did not get it, but I try not to classify myself as a cat lady, but I do enjoy cats.
You have 3.
I do have 3.
Can you tell us about them?
Yes. So Sneakers is my OG. He's my main man. I've had him since 2009.
Damn.
Sneakers. Yeah, because he's gray with like the little white paws. So yes, he is a rescue. My stepbrother found him, I think like underneath a chalet in Calabogie. And I guess the mother had passed away. So there was like these 4 kittens. And so we rescued them. And Sneakers was part of that litter. So there was 2 girls, 2 boys, and we were going to keep the 2 boys, and then we gave away the 2 girls to friends. But the little ginger one, like the runt of the litter, actually passed away, so it ended up just being Sneakers. So he is my main man, and I've had him forever. And then I impulsively got 2 kittens from the Humane Society just up the road here. Because I had moved into a home and I felt like Sneakers and I needed a little bit of young energy in our life again. So yeah, we got Moscow and Gimlet. They're named after Moscow Mule, and then Gimlet, which is like the nice little cocktail drink because I like cocktails. So
That's really genius.
yeah, so
I
it's
love
been
that.
good. I didn't want to adopt just the one. I figured like if Sneakers rejects them, then at least they have
Each
you know
other.
each other,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much what happens. But Sneakers is now they want to integrate Sneakers into the tribe, and Sneakers doesn't really like it as much, but it's good.
Because he's like an old man.
He is an
just
old man.
He's like, get these kids away from me.
Basically,
I get that.
yeah.
Mine's like, I have like the opposite. Oh no, I have the exact same issue, but like I had 2 beforehand, and then I just adopted a 3rd, and she's seen some shit, so she's scared of everything.
Oh goodness.
And she's starting to try to play with the other 2.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of like, we're not sure about you. And I'm like, just let him sit with you. Like, just be friends.
Exactly.
Be nice to each
But yeah,
other.
so they're getting there.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like cats.
Me
I would
too.
love to have a cat, but my dogs will kill it.
Oh no.
So that's a no from me. But one day,
One day.
and these dogs.
Maybe you can get the right cat that's more like
Yeah.
a dog that will
Yeah.
vibe with the dogs.
I'm like, if I bring a kid in, maybe they'll chill with it. No, they'll
Frank will
kill
eat it.
Yeah, he will.
So tell me about growing up in Ottawa.
Oh, well, I mean, I technically grew up in the suburbs in Canada.
Oh,
Yeah,
hot.
I'm a Canada girl.
Yeah, my friend grew up in Nepean.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Okay, right next door.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. Went to Catholic school, George
Same.
Vanier, All Saints. That's pretty much
That's
it.
Ottawa. That's
A very
it.
standard suburban life
Yeah.
with friends and just going to the Centrum where the Walmart is and the
Oh.
AMC theater every Friday, which was a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
man.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that checks out.
That
That's
all checks
basically
out,
where
yeah.
I'm from Timmins though, so
Okay,
like
yeah.
we had a Walmart, but it was like on the outskirts of town.
Of course.
Yeah.
Did you have a mall?
Yeah, the Timmins Square.
Oh, did you hang out there?
I worked there.
Oh, where?
CD Plus.
Of course you did.
Shocking.
Honestly. And then you went to Carleton, so you stayed. Did you do
Yeah.
that right after high school?
Was supposed to actually,
Oh,
but I did not. I ended up having to take like a sort of mandatory gap year. Yeah. So
Why?
okay. Basically, with high school, I really wanted to go to Ryerson because I
Okay.
wanted to do film and photography, but my parents were like, absolutely not, because you're going to end up in like mountains of debt. There's no way. Just like if you're going to go to university, live at home. So that's sort of where Carleton came in. So I applied to do film studies. And like online, you were supposed to accept your like I was accepted and you're supposed to accept it. And I thought I went through the whole process of like accepting my offer and that I was good to go. And then I got an email from Carleton being like, oh, are you going to accept your offer? And I was like, oh, I thought I did. And then it was like way past the due date. So they said that they would maintain my offer, I guess, for a whole year. And so I had a gap year.
Oh my God, like an unintentional.
Yeah.
Oh no, I messed up.
Yeah, exactly. So what I did was, at the time, I was a summer student for my mom's job. It's a company called Chipworks. They do like reverse semiconductor engineering. They've since been bought out by a company called Tech Insights, I think. Anyway, so I worked in like marketing and I was like helping them organize all of their files and stuff. And then I got a job, and they extended my contract actually because of this new information. So I got my contract extended till the end of October. And then I got a job at Freeform Fitness. It's like a personal training place as their receptionist. So that was kind of my gap year job.
Nice.
I decided, hell no, I'm not sticking in the city for a whole year. I was very involved with Girl Guides. So I found a way to travel for 3 months on like very cheap. So I went to Switzerland for 3 months for Girl Guides at our chalet.
Love. Okay, because I grew up Girl Guides. Like this is like my jam. I was like Pathfinders, like.
Oh yeah, I did all of it.
All of it?
Yeah.
Did you do like the Rangers and all? Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm a Girl Guide.
I don't know anything about Girl Guides.
I'm like fangirling
Except the
so
cookie.
hard.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, you were like, yes.
Yeah, I was a spark, and then I did 1 year of brownies, and I was like, I hate brownies, so I quit. And then it wasn't until like third year guides era that like someone encouraged me to get back in. So then I was a third year guide, and then I did I think 3 years of Pathfinders. And then I think I took a year off, and then I went back as a like junior leader, which I think they scrapped all that. So it's just Rangers now.
Yeah.
And then I became a leader after that. So, you know, even during my gap year, I became a brownie leader for a little while before I went to Switzerland. So I've done all of that.
This is so wholesome.
Yeah. I know. Isn't that cool? I sometimes forget that was sort of like that's like a side story to my life, was that I was very involved with Girl Guides for a long time.
I don't think I've ever met anyone like besides you.
Yeah. So like, what did you do in Switzerland?
So I applied to be like a spring volunteer at our chalet. And the reason why I picked our chalet, so if you don't know about Girl Guides, there's like 4 world centers. There's our chalet in Switzerland, our cabana in Mexico. They have Pax Lodge in England, and then they have Sangam, which is in India. I picked Switzerland because chocolate and cheese, and it was also the very first world center ever built. I was a spring volunteer. So basically, I just worked it like hostel type of stuff, cooking, cleaning, swapping the beds, and then you get 2 days off a week as well. So, you know, free room and board, and then you get to hang out in Switzerland for 3 months. And what I really liked about it too is, you know, you get to meet people from around the world. So when I was there, we had a volunteer from South Korea, Sweden, and 2 came from England. So that was pretty fun.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And so, I just like hung out in Switzerland. Also, like found the love of my life there. I fell in love in Switzerland.
Really?
Yeah, I did. It was great. He was a scout from the other center across the mountain at Kandersteg.
Oh is this a romantic
Is this
movie?
a Disney movie?
It's like a
Yeah.
Hallmark movie.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty wild.
And where was he from?
Scotland.
Oh, so he had an accent.
God.
Yeah. I think that's what I fell for, was the
Yeah,
accent.
Oh, just talk
And the
to me.
kilt. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that just give me the calves.
And then you guys dated while you were there?
Sort of. Like, we didn't really see each other that often, but it turns out that he had a friend in Syracuse that he was going to visit at the end of the year, which I thought was like, oh my gosh, this is divine timing. Like, Syracuse is only like 3 hours from Ottawa. So, that's sort of how that all happened. So he ended up, like, once I left and went home, he ended up visiting his friend in Syracuse. So I went out and picked him up, and then we spent some time together. So I like missed Frosh. So when I went to university, I missed my Frosh week because I was too busy hanging out with the Scottish guy.
I mean, that's
Fair
a pretty
reason to
great reason.
miss it.
Yeah.
I
So-
think Frosh Week's overrated. So
Yeah.
good
It was
choice.
fun.
Yeah,
It was great.
I mean, what a way to start. Like,
and then did it last longer, or was it like a
I think
whirlwind?
we got a
romance?
year in, like long distance. So like I visited Scotland over the holidays, and then he came back to Canada for like a month the following summer. But then after that, we were like, oh, this is too much. It's like
And you're what,
3,000
like,
miles away.
18.
Yeah, we were like super young, so yeah, it didn't work out. But
like, what a great, fun
Story,
relationship.
yeah.
oh yeah, it's a great story. Like I think it really defined him and I quite a bit. Like as we grew up too, just like from the emotions and everything. So it was I value that experience. It was good.
What a fun, like, was he like your first love?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, what a
for
fun
real.
first, like
Good
for real
first
first
love.
love.
Yeah, and we still talk actually.
Yeah,
So
My
That's
first
good.
love was not that wholesome.
oh no.
Oh, he was a coke addict. He
Oh,
went to
no.
my school. Fun fact. Yeah.
That's really unfortunate.
He got kicked out in May of my graduating year.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, I feel like this may not be healthy.
Mine had a mohawk, and my mom was very mad about it.
oh goodness, not a mohawk.
I mean, there was probably other
too
reasons.
edgy.
Yeah, very edgy. Wait, was it a colored mohawk or just like a regular?
No, it was just like, well, I mean, he dyed his hair black, so
Oh, okay, black
it
mohawk.
was a black mohawk.
Cool.
But I get why she didn't like him. Like, coming from the other side as a parent now, I'd be horrified if my daughter came home with
Oh, yeah.
someone
I
who,
get why my parents were like,
not that it wasn't about what he looked like, it was how he was as a person.
Yep.
Just to clear that up.
Yeah.
that's
I get
why I'm
it.
like, hey, this is so wholesome. I'm loving this story. It's so nice.
Yeah.
That's like really cute.
She's going to cry.
No, I mean, probably, but. You know what I love?
What?
A pandemic business.
Same.
Designs by Alexis Rose bloomed into existence in February of 2020 after Alexis closed her family's small-town floral shop in Beaverton, Ontario.
She knew she wanted to continue with her passion of being a floral designer and also be able to stay home with her then 2-year-old daughter.
After moving to Quinte with her supportive partner, Alexis has truly blossomed her business.
With nearly a decade of experience, she began her journey with funeral and sympathy flowers to help bring something beautiful to those experiencing some of their darkest moments.
She also loves to create bespoke florals for weddings, local markets, workshops, monthly flower subscriptions, eucalyptus shower bundles, and so much more.
Alexis is currently booking 2024 weddings, and you can pick up her stunning dried florals at Your Creative Junction and the Cookie Jar in Belleville. Follow her on Facebook and Instagram at Designs by Alexis Rose.
I'm Dr. Maria Coward of Dr. Coward & Associates, and welcome to iFacts in Focus. Did you know it's important to get regular eye exams even if you have great vision? Eye conditions like glaucoma and macular degeneration often have no symptoms in their early stages, but can still cause vision loss down the road. Eye exams help catch these conditions sooner, which can improve your vision in the long run. At our clinics, we offer the OCT scan, which takes 3D images of your retina and helps your eye doctor detect eye disease. Visit our website, drbrucecoward.ca, to book an eye exam with OCT. And be sure to follow me on social media at Dr. Maria Coward for more eye tips and tricks.
The Family Dental Center is making going to the dentist convenient and stress-free.
FDC is always accepting new patients and offers a variety of quality dental services, including routine dental hygiene, restorative, oral surgery, crowns, Invisalign, and more.
There are no more excuses to avoid the dentist. AKA me. FDC has convenient hours, can direct bill to insurance companies, offers a 10% discount for seniors and military members, plus has emergency appointments available.
Make sure to stay up to date on all things Family Dental Center by liking them on Facebook at Family Dental Center and following them on Instagram at FDC Family. We're serious. Like, go now, scroll down to our show notes and tap the link and follow them. We will wait.
Okay, now go book your appointment online at familydentalcenter.com.
What'd you take at Ottawa? Philosophy and
Yeah.
history?
And history. Well, I went in for film studies, as I mentioned, but I failed film studies.
What?
I don't know.
How?
I don't know.
You're so talented.
Right? We all have flaws, okay? We all have flaws. I am not good at film studies, I guess, because the reason why I wanted Ryerson is because it's a college-turned university, so I figured there was going to be a lot more hands-on. You go to Carleton, it's all theory. I'm like, I'm not a theory girl, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So basically, I did okay. I was getting like C's or whatever. Also, first year, like you always get C's.
Yeah,
in
you
the
always
first year.
get C's. C's get degrees, baby.
Yeah, so
Is that a thing?
Oh, that's what we all yell. Like when you're studying and crying, we would just look at each other and be like, just remember C's get degrees.
Exactly, as long as you pass.
As long as you pass.
I failed the exam so miserably that I contacted my professor. I was like, what did I do wrong? And he was like, Quebec cinema, like you just tanked it. I studied so hard for this. And then he gave me a D- as a passing, like, he's like, I'm so sorry that you failed so hard. I will let you pass my class.
But then you left film studies.
Yeah, and then I was like, no, film studies is not for me. But, in high school, I enjoyed history class, so I was taking some history courses, and so I just, like, completely jumped ship into history. Did really well, actually, and then I started taking philosophy because I realized the kind of history I was studying was intellectual history, so I'm very fond of the Enlightenment and, like, just the history of thought and how we think and that sort of thing.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
fascinating.
actually, one of my professors kind of pointed it out to me one day. I was taking a course in the Enlightenment, and he's like, Deanna, I think, your niche for history is like intellectual history. So that's where the philosophy kind of came in. So I started taking more philosophy courses and then, history and philosophy.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Could you ever do anything with just a history and philosophy degree? Or do you need to get something after that?
Everyone was like, what are you going to do, teach? And I was like, hell no, I do
feel
not
like
want to teach.
The stereotype of like those courses.
Yeah, so then I was like, oh no, I don't want to teach. So then that's where museum studies came in. In my fourth year, I was doing a documentary instead of like a thesis, which was really cool because then I got my film side.
very
things.
cool.
So cool.
Do you still have it?
I don't know where it went.
If
I don't
we
think I
find
have
it.
If you find it, yes. It's on Igor Guzenko. He was like a Russian cipher clerk that defected. And actually the Cold War started in Ottawa. So that's sort of like the whole premise of the documentary.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I love history. So
It's fun. Yeah. No, I didn't even know that it had started basically in Ottawa because he was living in Ottawa. And so that's sort of what the whole documentary is about him and the defection and how the Cold War started. So,
oh my God.
That's new information to me.
yeah. But that meant I was digging through archives a lot and like going behind the scenes at like, the Diefenbunker at Carp. And so that's sort of where the museum element came in. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do museum studies. This seems cool, doing all the behind the scenes stuff. And so then I was like, Algonquin, because then I can still live at home.
It's all about living at home as long as humanly possible.
That saved me a ton of money, honestly. Like, hate to give it to my parents for that one, but they did save me from like a mountain load of debt. And I did work entirely throughout university as well. So I was a server bartender. So I was able to pay down as much as I could when I could. So
that's awesome.
me working a lot is a common theme.
Yeah, I was like, so you always do this.
Yeah.
Multiple things. Yeah, anyway, sorry, that brain fart. Edit that out.
What? Why was it a brain fart?
Because I had something, like, in my brain, it made sense. I was like, okay, yeah, you're always doing multiple things all at the same time.
Yeah.
And then the words had a hard time getting out of my mouth.
Happens.
It does happen.
It's really smoky out today, so
I think that's
it's like smoke fog and brain fog all at once.
Yeah.
That and I'm just tired.
I also didn't know that museum studies was a thing until we were at the Quinte Museum and I'm so bad with names. The two lovely ladies.
Oh, yes. Madeline and Michaela.
They both
Miss
took
Frizzle.
it, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I didn't know this was a thing that people did.
Yeah, like they went to Fleming. So they did, Fleming offers museum management and curatorship, but they also do museum conservation as well. So there's two different programs that they offer.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool.
Again, didn't know these were things. And then what made you want to go get your master's of library?
I guess just to pad everything. I don't know. I'm like weirdly ambitious that way.
Do you just like school?
I think, yeah, part of it was maybe a fear of like entering the workforce, because getting into museums can be very difficult. It's a very hard market to break into, especially in Ottawa. If you're not bilingual, like you can kiss your ass goodbye to like all of the. No,
Bilingual?
you would think. I
was
grew
gonna
up.
say, that's shocking.
Okay, I don't know why I'm not bilingual. Like in kindergarten, I did 1 day of English, 1 day of French, and like, you know, I was in extended French the entire time.
If
so
you're
I don't
drunk,
know.
can you speak French?
If I'm around French-speaking people for long enough, my brain starts thinking back into French. And for example, like if I'm counting, sometimes I'll actually count in my head in French instead of English right away. So like there's like those weird things in my brain, or like, you know, looking at nouns, for example, like I don't know, like a pig or a horse. I think of like cheval or cochon. Like I just, I don't know.
That's so funny.
But I'm not bilingual, so
Every time I see grapefruit, I'm like, pamplemousse.
yeah, exactly.
Je te bleu.
J'aime les pamplemousse.
They tried to take me out of French class because I could not read English very well. And I said, no, I'm not going into ESL because that's not, I speak English.
Yeah.
I just can't read very well. So I don't count in French ever in my brain.
Have you ever seen that video of that guy? He's like a New Yorker and he's just driving and his friend is filming him. And he's like, have you ever tried counting in French? And like how it just makes no sense. Like they're just making up words. They're like, okay, it's like 70.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's 70. They're like, it's literally just 60-70.
Yeah.
Or
It's
60-10.
math. It's math.
60-10.
Math. It's literally
They're like, okay,
math.
so then it's like, they're like, now it's like, you're adding math into numbers and it's like, you're
So
literally just trying to
confusing.
say numbers, but it's math.
But
is
I know
confusing.
English doesn't make sense either. Like when people are trying to learn English, like our rules don't. We have
None of it makes
minimal rules.
any sense.
So, anyways, sorry for the
Yeah, no,
tangent
I like
on my part.
I like French counting.
Yeah. Oh, did I mention I did try doing linguistics in university and also failed miserably at that? So,
Wait, what?
oh yeah,
What kind of like, so what?
just like linguistics and like, you know, when we're talking about rules and languages and that sort of thing,
Yeah.
just like I could not get on that vibe. I could not figure it out. I'm like, I just know English and sort of know a little French, but that's it. Like I don't need to know about
Yeah.
all the extras and why we are the way that we are
No.
and we speak the way that we
love
speak.
that. I would love that.
When I was in Toronto on the weekend, I was at Winners, and my cashier was telling me how she just came from San Francisco and she moved to Toronto, and I was like, oh, how do you like it? And she's like, good, but I'm really trying not to start saying A. And I was like, I think we just do that. I don't think you learn it. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, and it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
And
I
like
don't know.
spelling everything with U's.
yeah, that
Like flavor.
confuses me, but
Yes. I hate when my phone autocorrects and then just uses just the O.
Yeah,
I'm
it
like,
looks
no,
weird.
it
You can-
means
you can
I need my
change that.
U.
You can change that in your
I-
settings.
Oh, well, that takes effort.
It's in your language settings. You have to just set it to like, I think it's like UK English or something.
Yeah, probably. Okay, well, I'll have to do that now.
So did you finish at Algonquin, and then did you go right into like try and get right into the workforce, or did you do your master's right away?
I tried to get into the workforce and tried to get into my master's right away. So with the Algonquin program, I was dating a military guy who was posted at CFB Trenton, of course. And so I was supposed to do an internship with Library and Archives Canada, but for some reason, I don't know, the internship fell at the last minute, so I needed a place to go. So I reached out to the National Air Force Museum in Trenton, and so they accepted me. So I was already in Trenton at the time, so I was trying to find work around here, and then I managed to get a job at the Museum of Healthcare at Kingston. So right out of the gate, I got really lucky, got a job over there, was not making a lot of money, and the job was very difficult. But that was sort of my breakthrough.
What was what do you do at a healthcare museum?
I was the communications and finance coordinator, and I really only lasted 9 months in the role because I found I was just overworked and underpaid, and
That's like 2 jobs.
yeah, it was a lot of work. I don't know. It just wasn't my main thing, but I did learn a lot. Like I learned a lot about how nonprofits are run, how the finances are done, how they manage their like museum members, how they manage their like donating clients, that sort of thing. So it was a very valuable experience, and the people there were really quite lovely. But long term, I was like, I can't be here. I was only making $29,000 a year.
You can't live on that.
No. Like I even got because I didn't want to have to commute from Trenton. My partner and I at the time had found an apartment in Kingston, a really, really good deal. But on 29,000 plus doing university, I was in obviously a huge deficit every month, and I couldn't really make that up. So again, the stress of everything and not fully enjoying the job itself, 9 months, and I was like, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I need out, and I'm going to figure it out. So, and then I moved back to Trenton, and then I became a gallery assistant at the Art Gallery of Northumberland for a little while.
Oh,
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what do you do there?
Oh gosh, I was only there for about 4 months because then I got the job at Research Casting International.
Okay, well, let's skip to that.
Yeah. So, what I will say is that I just help ladies plan events and stuff at the art gallery. It was really nice, and they had some really cool. If you've never been in their gift shop, some really nice pottery.
I love pottery.
Yeah. So
love pottery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did enjoy my time there. Actually, it was great. But then yes, I got a job at Research Casting International where I did fossil preparation.
This is cool. You've told us about this. Tell us more
Yes.
right now because it's so cool.
Yeah, I was essentially hired in 2016 to work on the Smithsonian Deep Time project. So they had cool. 60, maybe a little more than 60 specimens it was like a refurb project. So they basically took everything out of their hall, shipped it over to Trenton, and then we were just refurbishing everything, putting new mounts, taking out old armatures. Some of this stuff was built in the 1800s or mid-century. So a lot of old rusty metal and plaster and that sort of thing. So we took it all out, cleaned everything, make them look shiny and new again, and then installed them over at the Smithsonian. So that was the big project.
So you went to the Smithsonian to install this?
Once, yeah.
That is so cool.
They would take teams, we would take turns going back and forth. So yeah, it was a pretty long term there. I was there for 2 years, 8 months before I moved back to Ottawa for a little while. So
what is research? Okay, this place in Trenton, what's it called?
Research Casting International.
And what do they do?
So they provide museum technical services to museums around the world.
And they're in Trenton of all places.
They're in Trenton, yeah. And they do stuff all over the world. I know that they were just recently in Japan dropping off Zool, which is a new species of Ankylosaurus. There was this really nice skin impression that they prepared. I worked on it as well. It was really cool. Very fun experience. So
it's wild that this isn't more known in our community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They've been there since 2008, by the way. They've been rocking out, building dinosaurs on the Bay of Quinte for
I've always heard
years.
of it, but I didn't really know what they did. And then you started telling us the fossil preparation you did, and I was like, this is happening here?
Yeah.
I only knew this because I dated a guy whose father lived or works there. Or works there. I don't know. Yeah. But we're going to edit that red. Actually, we can leave that in.
Okay.
It was a long time ago.
It's fine.
Exciting.
Fine.
Yeah.
Exciting.
No, he was very nice. He was very respectful. We didn't end on bad terms. It was very
that's good. And then, so you were there, and then you went back to Ottawa.
Yeah, because of course my partner and we got posted. So, but Ottawa, of course, is my hometown. So for us at the time, it was oh, great. We're going to be closer to family and stuff. So yeah, it was really sad to leave that job. I would never really leave it voluntarily like that, but it is what it is. And then, yeah, then I was in Ottawa for 3 years during the pandemic. We moved in 2019, and then, everything just kind of went downhill from there.
Go a little bit downhill during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think a lot of people went downhill during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I certainly did.
It was, it was an experience because I go to Ottawa, I live 12 minutes from my parents' house. Did I see my parents? Nope. Oh, and then my dad got cancer during the pandemic, colon cancer. So I couldn't even be there with him for any of it. So that was also kind of difficult. It's okay. He's okay now. Just so you know, everything is fine. It was
colon cancer
all
is
successful.
a rough one.
It is.
Yeah.
But no, he was really strong. And so far, we're in the clear.
Oh,
so
good. That's
everything is
amazing.
fine.
Whew, I was about to be like, oh, God, it went really downhill.
No. That's actually like a really good story. Also, while we were in the pandemic, my now ex's father suffered a major heart attack as well. So, and then again, we couldn't be
there.
with him in the hospital or anything. So that again, that was really challenging. But luckily, he is a family physician, so he knew right away when he was having a heart attack,
good.
and that saved his life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Which is why we also need to educate everybody about the signs of a heart attack.
Yeah,
clearly.
He told me. I guess he was on the toilet when this all happened, and he basically said, like, when you feel it, you basically have to strain, like as if you're taking a giant shit, and it'll help. And so he was able to like.
Oh, like you just have to like.
Yeah, you just have
tense
to
your body.
tense your body because he knew exactly what was going on.
I'm never
Thank
gonna have a heart
God.
attack because I'm always tense.
Yeah. So and then managed to get help in time, and he. Was successful in recovery. So
Wow.
Oh, like hats off to that guy because
Yeah.
he's incredible. So
That's so cool.
yeah. So that also happened during pandemic.
Welcome to pandemic. I had a baby.
Oh, well, congratulations.
I mean, he's a sweet baby
He
angel.
is
Yeah.
a sweet baby angel. I was on a farm. I'm not on the farm anymore.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
I still have a baby. Like, of course. Just
Don't brag.
Yeah, the baby is still with you. It's good.
yes, he's still with me.
He's
Excellent.
super cute.
Oh boy. Okay.
Sorry.
I would like to see pictures.
Oh, of my baby?
Yeah.
He's
Fuck yeah.
angelic. Like,
cute.
Hold on.
pause for a picture moment.
Yeah, we're pausing. Hold on.
Oh, he is cute. Oh,
He's very, very cute.
what a sweetheart.
He's starting to talk now too.
Yeah.
Like really have conversations. It's so funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like he says goodnight to everybody. Like before we go to bed, he'll say goodnight. But it's like it's not just like saying goodnight to like mom and dad and like Kate, like his older sister, and like the cats and all that stuff. It's like goodnight PlayStation, goodnight shadows, goodnight window,
Aw, that's adorable.
Yeah.
goodnight Isabel from Animal Crossing. And then he falls asleep to the music from the museum in Animal Crossing.
Nice.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen the museum in Animal Crossing.
No, I have not.
It's mind blowing.
Ooh.
Like, and I'm not saying this in a way, like, I really love Animal Crossing because it saved me during the pandemic, but it's genuinely like super educational for kids. And they have like a whole dinosaur section, and they have a whole
nice.
aquarium.
This really ties into the episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's what I'm saying. This all relates.
Yeah.
So, and you have to like dig the fossils and go have them assessed by the little owl museum curator.
Oh, cool.
You're the owl, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, that's your role.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I have to get Animal Crossing now and
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Highly recommend.
All right.
But so I guess you weren't working because museums were not open during the pandemic.
So
Patricia.
my story, when we moved to Ottawa, I took a contract doing paintings conservation.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so my first contract was on Parliament Hill in Centre Block. We were removing the 8 World War I paintings from the Senate chamber. So that was a really cool experience, actually.
I'm like, that's so stressful.
Yeah. It's funny. One of the reasons I think I got hired, aside from my amazing, impeccable resume, was that I already had secret clearance from like a long time ago.
Oh.
I managed to get this. Anyways, and we kind of needed clearance, just a reliability check just to be on site. It didn't. I guess because I already had a level of clearance, my clearance didn't show up until the very last day that we were done. So the whole time I was there, I had to be escorted by like security if I wanted to use the washroom or anything because like my security didn't check out. I don't really know how that works. Anyways, I thought that was really comical. By the last day, I got the email from the lady in our office being like, "Hey, I guess just so you know, your clearance finally checked out." I'm like, "Great. Well, we're just like hauling this last painting out to go over to the War Museum." So
I'm
Great.
good.
So now I can pee by myself.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. No, it was definitely a really cool experience. And then after that, I took a contract with CRKN, which is the Canadian Research Knowledge Network, and I became their digital services intern. So thankfully for my master's degree, I actually qualified for a Young Canada Works program. So I was able to do this internship. And with them, I was basically like an administrative liaison for DataCite Canada, which essentially mints like DOIs for articles and that sort of thing. And we were basically integrating DataCite Canada into the program. So like I did that. And then my contract actually ended like a week or two after the pandemic began. And so I qualified for like CERB and EI like right off the hop. So
Great.
At that point, you know, I wasn't going to put pressure on myself to try to find employment right away during a pandemic. So I like was able to take time.
I feel like you needed it.
Yeah.
So like, I know the pandemic has been awful for a lot of people, and so I'm gonna like state that I acknowledge my privilege and my great luck with this one. But like the pandemic for me, from like a personal like healing, growing perspective, it was very good for me because it was like the first time since like the age of 12 where I wasn't working.
Yeah.
So.
Were you in school or were you actually just like...
I was done.
So you really just got to work on you.
Yeah. And like at the time I had been experimenting with the wedding photography. That was sort of my opportunity to really just put my time. Because like honestly, you had to do something during all of that time off. And that's what I decided to pour my passion into was photography. And it worked out. So
It did because you're very good.
You are really
Thanks.
good. I was looking at it before preparing for this interview, but it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Fun pictures.
It's like your creative outlet.
It is. It really has become a great creative outlet. And it's a really nice way to meet people and just kind of enjoy and celebrate, you know, one of the most important days of their life. I don't know. I'm very empathic that way. I like feeling people's emotions. I like being there for people, and I like to capture memories for people because I think that that's really important. Obviously, like I got a degree in history and that sort of thing. Like I understand the importance of preserving memories. So that's why I think photography is a really great creative outlet for me.
It all really makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
it really
makes
makes
perfect
sense.
sense that all of these, you love all of these things.
Yeah. So it's been good. And I also got to spend a lot of time off the grid during the pandemic as well. So like years prior, my ex and I had purchased 9 acres on the Salmon River. We got really lucky with this property. And so we had been slowly building it since 2017. And by the time the pandemic rolled around, we were able to get satellite internet installed, and we had solar panels, and we had like a whole like fully functioning, we called it our living room in the woods, but we had like running water, we had a composting toilet, internet, TV, like you didn't need much else. So, you know, on the days that we were able to take off to the cottage, like we were off the grid and we were just enjoying the pandemic, building gardens, building the rest of the cottage up, that sort of thing. So again, like I got to work on photography, and then I got to frolic in the woods. It was very healing.
That's very
that
healing.
sounds like so lovely.
Yeah. I got so lucky. Like I acknowledge how lucky and privileged this time in my life was, and I think it was really important that kind of I don't know, it set me on like an entirely new trajectory, because if you had told me like 3 years ago that I would be living here again and like essentially doing a similar job, I would be like, what are you talking about?
No, I'm going to be a photographer.
Yeah, I'm going to be,
But you still do wedding, like you're still doing it, right? Yeah.
Yes, I have like had to chill hard on the amount of weddings and jobs that I take on with that, but I still do it because I don't think I could ever really stop.
Well, it's like one of those things. It's like if you stop, it's like I might go crazy.
Yeah. It's like the
you
creativity.
Need to have
yeah.
that outlet.
Yeah.
Because I find whenever I stop doing creative things is when I get like just anxious and like sad, and I start ruminating, and I don't like the rumination feelings. I need to always have like that creative outlet.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I need to start crafting again.
It helps.
Yeah. I'm ruminating.
It helps.
And then how did you end up back here?
Okay, so the year is 2021.
Set it up.
Yeah, I don't know. That year in particular was a lot. So like I think my ex and I were both feeling that we were coming to the end of our relationship. And meanwhile, while I was like, off the grid in the woods, I was trying to find, I don't know, I was trying to get back into the relationship or whatever. And by the time I was like coming to a point of acceptance, like this will be my partner, I love him very much. He was that's when I felt him really kind of backing away. And so we talked a lot about it. And essentially by the time October rolled around, he decided that this wasn't for him. And then I was like, well, I guess if it's not for you, it's not for me. And so we ended it quite amicably. But again, we were living in Ottawa at the time, and I was like, holy shit. I'm like, I haven't had a job really. Like photography, yes, but it doesn't pay all the bills yet. What am I going to do? And actually, this is funny. Months prior to this, him and I were driving up to the cottage, and I remember looking over at him, and I said, hey, this is going to sound really weird, but I feel like there is a return to RCI, Research Casting International. Like, I feel it coming up. And he was like, yeah, that is a little weird. And then, fast forward months later, we separated, and I was like, oh, shit, I don't know what to do. But the first thing I thought about was, like, RCI. Like, that place was community to me. I really, really loved that job. And I didn't think of any better way to get back on my feet again by returning there and taking on my job. So within 48 hours of like the hard separation, I had already sent an email out to them, and they accepted me open arms. I literally cried. I could not believe it in a moment where I really needed help, essentially, and I needed somewhere to go. They were like, no issues, come back, it's fine. And so that's sort of what put me on this path. I went on my own. I drove all the way over here to find apartments. It was a full moon that day, of course. I saw 3 apartments, and there was one that I really liked in Brighton. And then on my way home, I got into a car accident.
Stop it.
Yeah. Some guy hit my passenger's side door. He didn't see me coming up. And so I had to go through this whole accident coming home. Like I just, I'm going through a separation.
Yeah.
My entire life is blowing up. I just found the apartment I'm going to live in. And then I get into this accident on a full moon. And then I found out, that essentially like, honestly, my ex had lied to me about something that evening. So it was like this whole like realization that like my entire life is changing now. So, it was wild. It felt like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Like no one got hurt, thankfully, but it was just like one of those moments where like he wasn't fully honest with me about something. I got into this accident that actually like made me figure out the whole scenario. And then I came back, and after that, I was like, it like cut the ties for me entirely, and just like put me on a new path to just move forward for myself. And
it's like one of those things. It's like, okay, like maybe this was a good thing.
Everything happens for a reason.
Bad, but also like glad. Like if nobody got hurt, but like it's like one of those things. It's like, okay, so this is the universe telling you like you need to go this way.
Yeah, exactly. So I took it as a blessing in a way. And then he helped me move. Like, quite honestly, like we have a really good relationship moving forward. And, he helped me move, get into my new place. And then I was able to just relax. I took a week and a bit before I returned to work so I can get settled. And then I made sure that RCI didn't tell any of the employees that I was coming back so I could surprise everyone. And boy, did I surprise people. So that was very exciting for me. And then I worked there for a few months. Well, 9 months. And then I got the job at the museum.
Which is technically, it's connected, right?
The museum is its own nonprofit entity.
Okay.
So it is technically its own thing. But RCI is the major partner. They're basically the reason why the museum exists in the first place. Peter, the president of the company, it's essentially been sort of a dream of his to give back to the community and to create a state-of-the-art museum that features dinosaurs, because that's what his company can provide.
So cool.
It is really cool. And I have actually known about this museum project since I started working there back in 2016. And
Wow.
I used to make jokes with my colleagues in the lab being like, oh, they're building a museum. Like, I want to be involved. Like, I can be the director. Because I know when they were hiring their first director, I was like, I want to be the director. Well, you know.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise.
Full
I'm the
circle
director.
moment, yeah.
So that was very interesting and fun. So, yeah, I did fossil prep for a little while and then managed to get into the office at RCI. And then that's sort of where the museum component came in because they were about to open up the doors in March of 2022. And so
It's so new.
it's new.
I didn't realize that.
Like in terms of being open to the public, yeah, it only opened last March.
That's embarrassing on my part. Like, I should have known that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I was like, it's either new or it's either been here a really long time, and I had no idea about it.
No, it's
okay.
brand new.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, brand new. So it's all good.
Yeah, we got there.
It's okay.
It's like, what?
Yeah, so I don't know. They got me involved. I helped open up the museum, make sure that the doors were open. Because at the time, the museum only had one employee, which was their executive director. So that's a lot to undertake to open up doors. So RCI was really doing a lot of it to get the doors open. Shortly after the doors opened, the executive director did resign from his position. He took up another amazing opportunity in Nova Scotia, but that meant that the position was wide open for a little while. And so being from RCI's side, like I was just doing what I could to make sure that the museum was still functional and running while they didn't have an executive director. And some time passed, and it never really occurred to me that I could apply to that job.
You didn't think you had the qualification?
No. I mean,
Your
in theory,
resume
like
is stacked.
I know, but like in terms of senior leadership, I don't necessarily like I didn't have that on my resume, so I was like, whatever. Like they're not gonna. It's not a thing. But then by the time like end of May came around, I'm like, still don't have anybody, and I'm kind of doing it already a little bit. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to shoot my shot. And I asked for Peter's blessing, of course, because like to me, I'm not going to go behind his back and be like, yo, see, I'm with the museum now. So I asked for Peter's blessing, and he was okay with it. I applied to the job. They interviewed me, and they're like, yeah, you can have it. And I was like,
Great.
Oh, this is incredible. Like I go from living in the woods one year to running a whole startup museum the next year. So again, like with the car accident and everything and like coming back here and just the way that the separation kind of lined up, like it was all kind of meant to be. And so
Things just kind of fall into place.
Yeah.
How they're supposed
Even
to.
when you feel like things are exploding.
That's the thing, is sometimes it's, like everything is chaos.
Yeah.
And you're like, how am I going to get through this? And then you just kind of let things happen.
Yep.
And then, shoot your shots where you got to. That's the one thing I think I've learned is just always just shoot a shot, because what's the worst that can happen?
They're going to say no.
Like,
Yeah.
and then what? Like, who
Your pride
cares?
will hurt a little bit, but
Yeah.
like it's just a no. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned through the pandemic.
shoot your shot.
Just shoot your shot.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just been like full sending it at this point. One of the things my ex used to say, and he's actually very proud of me, by the way, but he would be like,
As he should be.
Deanna, just be yourself. Like, stop.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I was like, okay. So I've gone full Deanna out here, and
I love full Deanna.
this is the results of that.
I'm so
Honestly-
happy we sat at the same table as you at Brazen.
Yeah.
Our
I think I was like unpacking like hard trauma to
It
you
was
guys,
so
like right off
funny.
the hop when they were talking about like owning your story, and then I just like slide over my paper.
I was like,
I know, because they were talking. They're
I
like, okay,
just remembered what that paper said.
yeah.
like, and it's just like you're sitting there, and she's like, okay, like they were talking about owning your story, and I'm just kind of like, ha.
As soon as I turned, I was like, we about to trauma dump. And
Yeah.
I think other tables were being, but like our table was unhinged. We were all just like, what are your issues?
Yeah, and I'm just kind of like, I don't want to talk about this, but then you did, and then everyone else did, and I was like, okay.
Oh yeah,
well,
this is a safe zone.
Yeah, it
like
was
I want to
safe
know
there.
your deepest, darkest
Yeah.
like trauma secrets. Like I could skip the small talk. So
Yeah, no, exactly. I
No,
was like,
yeah,
I'm here to be real.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna just be like, oh, and I'm like, no, our table like got real. I think that we created a little bond there.
I think so. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, no, we can't let you go. Like, you're our friend forever.
Yeah, we're best friends now.
And now I'm here.
Yeah, I love it. Full circle.
need
I've
to
said
get
that way
tacos.
too many times. Yeah, we do need to go get tacos
Oh, yeah, tacos. I love tacos. And a margarita.
and a margarita. So, Jillian goes, we're coming for you.
Yeah. I really enjoy their spicy jalapeno margarita.
I need to try it. I always just go like basic.
I've
No, no,
never
go
had a
spicy.
margarita
Go spicy.
ever.
They're really good.
What?
What?
I've never had a margarita. I've
Wow.
only had the
There's a
non-alcoholic
first for
ones.
everything. Oh.
I've only had the finalies.
They're good. I've been drinking
I mean-
them lately. What, do you like them?
I'm a little, I kind of like them.
That was a good day. I'm happy we met you. And then we got to see you again. We got to come to the museum because the Quinte West Chamber did an event there.
Yeah.
And you gave us like a private tour. I was like, pays off to know people.
It does.
Yeah,
to
it was
see all the
honestly, I think that
whales.
was like so cool because it was like you were like in your element. And I was kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite thing is like seeing people like in their zone, like talking about like what they're passionate about. And you were just like in it. And I was like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're so like listening to you talk about it was so cool because you were just rhyming things off and you could tell you were really into it.
Oh, thank God. Okay, good.
Yeah.
It's working.
It's working. Yeah.
No, it was like, sorry.
We like when people are passionate about what they're doing.
Yeah, I will say I'm actually very passionate about this role. I've never really had a job. Well, fossil preparation was one thing, but I've never really had a job in this kind of capacity that I've really enjoyed. Like I can really see myself bringing this whole museum, state of the art museum, to life. Because I think this town definitely deserves a museum, and there's something so cool about dinosaurs and natural history. It's it's quite the thing. So.
And then when you see it, it's like, whoa.
yeah.
It's so cool. Oh, I love dinosaurs, so I was so happy.
The
in that
whale,
museum.
what's the big whale thing that's in the middle of the
Oh, yes, that's an orca, killer whale.
like mind blowing.
Yeah.
And they're huge. Like huge. Like not just little, like big.
Those are kind of small, though. Like compared to a blue whale, for example.
Well, yes, but still big.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit like blasé to the
you're like,
size
it's
components.
small.
I've also like never seen the ocean, so
Okay.
I have to take you to the ocean.
I haven't really been to the ocean much either.
like
I've never seen like a whale or a dolphin in the water.
I have a really hard time
whatever.
with like size and depth.
Yeah.
Like my brain just does not process it. Like when I'm in my car is a go-kart. Like I can't park because I think I'm going to hit everything. Yeah.
So we should take you to the ocean.
Yeah, I think we have to take you to the ocean. It has to be a whole bit
Go
now.
for like a scuba diving type of adventure.
I would love that.
So
so you can see
fun.
some like fish. I would really love to do that actually. So
girls
yeah.
trip.
maybe.
I think we need to have a girls trip.
I feel like we were planning this with Eliza last week, so
yeah, I
Solid.
feel
we
like
could just
out.
make this like a group thing where we
Yeah.
all just
I feel
go-
like you'd really do you know Eliza? I feel like you would
oh, you
you'd
would like
vibe.
Eliza,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you like to surf?
I've never surfed. I don't think I'd be very good at it.
Okay, so you're more of a beach book.
Yeah. Except without the book. I am just there to tan and listen to music and
Okay, cool.
frolic in the water.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Give
But
me a
I would
floaty
try
toy.
surfing. I will try most things once.
Okay.
Yeah,
Most things.
Most things.
most things.
Okay.
Why did my brain literally was like anal?
That is why it's most things.
the panic on Kate? Fine.
I don't know why. No, I do know why.
Cutting all of this. The panic.
What is wrong with me? Why
so-
am I like this?
I love that you're just popping off. It's great.
She does. You're my favorite. That's why we work in the same office. So during the summer though, do you do photography and like you're so busy?
Yeah. Yeah, last year was wild because like I booked my whole year not knowing that I was going to be the executive director of Quinte Museum of
no.
Natural History.
Oh no.
And so my whole thing, I started my business in Ottawa, which meant that I started second shooting for an amazing photographer in Ottawa. Her name is Tracy. She runs Grace and Gold Studios. So I had been shooting with her since 2020 when the pandemic began. So like I already lined up a bunch of weekends with her for weddings. And then I had my own weddings. So I was going to Ottawa, if not every weekend, but every second weekend of the entire summer.
Wow.
My God.
Yeah.
That's a lot of driving.
It was a fuck ton of driving, and it was insane. I don't think I want to do that. So I actually planned my year a little bit better. So if I am going to Ottawa to second shoot with Tracy, I was like, I'm going to take your Friday, Saturday wedding. So we'll do double wedding weekend. That way I can come up half as much and still get the same amount of, time with you. So that's sort of what I did. But last year it was all chaos. Like September was like the most chaotic month of my life. I had weddings almost every single weekend. And then we did Doors Open with the museum, which is like a huge event because, well, RCI, like thousands of people typically go there. And with our museum being so connected to them, we are expecting a zoo. So I worked the entire morning there and then went off to do an 8-hour wedding in Shannonville. Yeah.
Caffeine?
Like the adrenaline.
Okay.
Usually, like I run off adrenaline for a lot of this. I'm built to endure. That's one thing I've noticed. I can do long days with very little break.
Do you burn out?
I'm going to say yes, probably. I feel like it's different this year because I've managed to come to a point where I can manage my anxiety a lot better. But yeah, I am feeling the effects of burnout with the last year alone because a lot has happened with the museum. The amount of effort that my team and I have put into putting on this exhibit has been really crazy. And we launched in March, but the work hasn't really slowed down. If anything, it's just picking up now because, we really came in killer with this new exhibit. So now it's just planning for the future.
So cool.
Yeah.
I have whale stickers all over.
Oh, good.
So I have like this one side console table situation, and I'm like, I'm going to just cover it in stickers. Like that's my thing now. So whale stickers everywhere. And dinosaurs.
I think we're going to add more stickers, like different kinds of stickers for the summertime. So I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me
us
know.
We love
Yeah,
stickers.
because I'll bring the small one. No, I'll
Yes.
bring the older one too. I have a 14-year-old too.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll bring them both.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
It's a great place for kids. And then they can color and stuff. And
Oh, I loved the kids area.
Yeah.
So colorful in
I
there.
have a great photo of Katie.
We'll share it. It's me on the bench that's a
Oh,
bomb.
yes.
Made me happy.
the good old femur bench.
Yeah.
A femur.
It's a femur.
Of what?
It is a Titanosaurus. There's a specific name for it, I
Is
think.
that like this actual size?
It's like a long neck, like a sauropod, long neck dinosaur.
Okay.
It was found in Argentina. And it is so big. I want to say it's like one of the largest dinosaurs, if not the largest dinosaur
that was
in terms of like length. It's
Big. That was big.
Yeah, it's huge.
That
It's
was
your femur.
Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
a femur is.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good shit.
What is wrong with me?
It's a Tuesday. We're tired.
So tired.
Which is stressful because it's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
I just feel like because it's not sunny and it's like smoky. I'm just.
It's really blah out.
It's so, and I'm like, is it gonna rain or is this smoke? I don't know. For those of you listening,
smoke.
it's June 6th when we're recording this. This isn't coming out for a little while, but it's weird right now outside.
It's like kind of ominous.
Yeah.
I'm expecting like Silent Hill sirens to start going.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Something
Yeah.
bad's
Right?
gonna
Yeah.
happen.
It's like when are the zombies coming?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for it.
Pyramid Head is going to like come out soon and
Yeah.
it's going to be terrifying.
What is your go-to like self-care trick, tip?
Oh goodness, I have a couple. So I love showering. Like that's sort of my, cleanse the day off my body type
Yeah,
of
I
thing.
get that.
So I usually do that, but I'll like handshake a cocktail as well. And then I have this like beautiful
Cool.
ledge in my shower that I can put my shower cocktail. So I do that. I'll always have
I'm
just
calling this
the
episode
one
shower
while I shower.
cocktail.
So that's sort of like a daily self-care type of thing I do.
That's kind of badass. What's your favorite cocktail?
Oh, it changes. Really into making margaritas right now. Trying to think. Anything with gin, usually.
I love.
Empress Gin, baby.
Oh, yeah.
My
Oh
go-to.
my god. Okay, so we had. Did you go to the Children's Foundation Gala?
I did not know.
Okay, because they had the most badass gin, like,
It was made with
signature
Empress.
cocktail.
Because it's purple.
It was so good.
Ooh.
And I need to find out what exactly was in it because I want to make it for you.
Oh, okay. Yes, please do.
You're
I
like,
love
yes.
I
gin.
like that. I love gin.
Yeah, it's good. So that's what I do daily. Little shower cocktail. And then if I have time on the weekends, I'll like have a full on bath
Okay.
and just sit in there and soak and light a candle.
Drink your cocktail.
Yeah.
bath cocktail, shower cocktail.
Yeah.
Love that.
I have a mug, and it was made for me by a friend, and I'm on this like message board of like weird artsy people, and I had posted this thing about having a shower beer, and like people were perplexed by the fact that
What?
you would drink a
that's
beer in the
super
shower. I
normal.
was like,
Yeah, isn't it
Right.
normal?
well, yeah, and then I just like laid out the steps of shower beering. So I'm like, you just
Jeanette, like when she comes home from sharing, shower beer.
Yeah.
Like I always find like there's always an empty beer bottle in our shower. I thought
Yeah.
that was just normal.
So now I have a mug, like he made me a mug, and it has all the steps of having a shower beer, and then it says my name on the other side of it.
That's adorable.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like it too.
Yeah.
Did we miss anything? Do you feel like we covered it all?
I think so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any shout outs you want to give?
Probably to Madeline and Michaela at the museum.
Shout out Miss
They're
They're
Frizzle.
pretty fire.
Yeah, they are. They are rock stars. Honestly, like this exhibit, like kudos to them because I hired them back in September and I was like, this is going to be chaos. And they just accepted the chaos. They worked
And they're
with
both
it.
still there. That's like also really good.
So it's been really wild. And, you know, they did all of the content that you're reading on the walls. Like, they wrote it up. They designed all those text panels. They slapped those text panels up on the wall.
They killed it,
They
did
really
really
did
good.
and they're
kill it.
so good at their like your social channels, like
Yeah.
so good.
Again, I got really lucky with my team. Like,
You
I'm
really,
just,
you just
lucky.
picked good people.
yeah. So I'm very happy to have them. So shout out to them for being amazing rock stars.
Shout out to you for being an amazing rock
Yeah,
star.
shout out to you.
Yeah, thank you.
So happy we met you.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was like one of the best parts of Brazen was meeting you, Alexis, and like having that table of people, like everyone at our table. I was just like, that was
I
like,
was very anxious that day, but our table was like very safe space.
Yes.
Yeah, which was nice.
and shout out to Jenny for giving us a.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Jenny.
We love
Hi,
Jenny. Hi, Jenny. I think we talk about her in every episode. So.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
She is the best.
I'm going to shut it down. Yeah.
Cool.
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 Love
cool.
it. That was amazing.
That was amazing.
I'm looking up
are you
the
looking
Quinte
at?
Museum because I want to give people some info.
So the Quinte Museum is in Quinte West. It's a little bit tricky to
We
find.
got lost, but
We definitely got lost, but it's a great experience if you have kids. There's so much information. Miss Frizzle and I totally forget the other girl's name. I don't actually know their names.
We say it in the podcast.
Yes, but I refer to her as Miss Frizzle because that is she's like a real life Miss Frizzle. But they made all like this educational material, and it's honestly, I love the museum. I think it's so cool.
There's so many like for where it is. Like you'd never expect this to be in.
Oh my
Quinte
God.
West.
No, like where are you going to see a sperm whale bone?
I don't know.
I can't remember what it was. I think it was like a rib.
Yeah, there's a humpback vertebrae, maybe. I don't know.
I think-
Deanna's gonna be like, "Get it together, you guys."
But it was large, and it really puts life into perspective.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know they did that. Okay, I'm just gonna read through some of the upcoming events. So
paint night.
Yeah, they're having a paint night on July 7th, so it's $45, and it's a 2-hour event. They're doing yoga night on July 20th.
I want to do yoga with the
They're doing a
whales.
floral workshop.
With Alexis.
That makes so much sense. Shout out Alexis for sponsoring us. Another paint night August 18th, yoga night the 15th, and then Santa photos. Maybe, that might have been old. But then you can also just go to the museum. It costs like just over $7 a person. And it's just good for, like, it's a local thing to support. So go do it.
Yeah, I think that someone needs to slide into our DMs. I will buy you tickets to go to the museum from me to you.
Oh, whoa. We'll see how many people listen to the end of our episodes.
Nobody.
They're like, shut up, we're done with you guys.
I'm just kidding. But no, but seriously, if somebody slides into like our DMs and
First person to do it,
I will totally
we'll buy you 2 tickets.
I will buy you
out of our own pockets.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll give you the $14.
I'll buy them online.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, great episode.
I think I'm also
enjoyed
going to set
editing
up for a paint night because I want to paint with whales.
I kind of want to do the yoga.
I want to do all of it.
Yeah, it's super cool. We'll have a link to the events page in our show notes, so check it out.
Also, shout out, it is a not-for-profit.
Yes.
So if you are feeling charitable and you need, a feel-good thing to give your money to,
You
please
want to
consider.
offload some money
You've come into money. You've won the lottery.
and you want to do good with it.
You just have an extra, like, 20
$1 million.
laying around.
Oh.
$1 million.
We went really different sides of that.
I was like, if you find like that 20 in
Yeah,
your
that
spring
makes
jacket that you
sense.
had put away, and you're like, how can I do good with this money? Give it to the Quinte Museum, because
Yeah.
then it helps them like build new exhibits.
I lied. Sorry. General admission is $8. Children 5 and under are free.
Okay.
And you can be purchased online. Sorry.
I'll give you the $16.
Yeah, we'll give you. So slide into our DMs. They have rules. I'm going to read them.
Don't bring your dog.
No pets, except service animals. No running, no food and drinks allowed in the exhibit. Please do not touch the exhibit. This is not a touching. It's like if you go to an art gallery. Like, there are some things you can touch.
There is a whole children's area with coloring and like a bone you can sit on that I have a picture Katie sitting
We'll
on.
share it.
It's so cute.
So, yeah, definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to our podcast sponsors right now. Family Dental Center,
Love you guys.
our OG.
I'm like
we're
low-key
obsessed with
excited
them.
for my next like teeth cleaning.
Really?
I'm just like, when do I get to go back?
Oh. Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's probably almost
When
been
do
6.
you get to go back?
It's probably almost been 6 months. I think it's probably been about 4.
Yeah.
But I also do need to call them and make an Invisalign appointment to get like the mold made
Oh,
and
yeah,
all like
yeah.
the costs and stuff figured out.
Nice.
Yeah, because I really want straighter teeth.
Fair. And Invisalign's a great option.
Yeah, because my teeth technically aren't like, they're not like super messed up, but
I don't think they're that bad, but I get the
yeah, I just want them a little bit straighter. Maybe like shave the bottoms down a little bit.
Is that an option?
Yeah, well, you know how like some teeth have like the like they're
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit like wiggly at the bottom.
You can get that.
You can get it like kind of flattened.
Okay.
I don't know if they do that, but I mean,
Well, I think you could go talk to Dr. Yasmin about
I mean,
it.
I'm sure she can figure it out.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Designs by Alexis Rose, also one of our new lunch buddies. She's making beautiful florals, like literally magical human. So
Yeah.
sweet.
And she's doing like fresh bouquets right now, and she takes them to Your Creative Junction.
And the cookie jar, right?
I think the cookie
Yeah.
jar.
So
And if you want just like a fresh bouquet, you can literally just DM her on Instagram, which I think is
Yes.
super cool.
And then our Friends with Benefits of the month, Dr. Maria Coward,
Hi, Maria.
giving us all the beautiful eye facts we need. And go get your eyes checked if you haven't. It's very important.
I need to go do that
Yeah.
actually too, because same thing. It's like I have like doctor anxiety. So it's like I had dental anxiety, but I also have doctor anxiety. So that includes the eye doctor. But fun fact about Maria, has the most natural radio voice
Yes.
I have ever heard in my life.
Yes.
She came in
does.
to voice her ads for the podcast, and she read the scripts once.
Yeah, that's wild because those ads you hear in these episodes, that was a one read, which is very rare.
That doesn't happen even with people that work here and do this professionally
yeah, no.
for a living.
Yeah.
And just like our producer
snaps.
Steve was just like, can I hire you to like voice ads?
She has a good voice.
She has a great voice. So shout out to Maria.
Yeah, so follow her on Instagram and book your eye appointment at Dr. Coward and Associates.
Yeah. And they've been around forever.
They have, yeah, family-owned local business. Check it out.
I love a family-owned local business. And she told me this thing. They run more tests than any other optometrist in the area.
Oh, wow.
So you're paying for what you're paying for, you get way more.
That's good.
So yeah, your eye health is very important.
We like eye health here. What else?
I'm trying to think. I know I have things coming up, but I just...
What is it?
It's shit talking with Olivia.
Oh, I was like, oh no.
I can't read this one because...
That's fine. I was like, oh no.
No, I got a text and I was like, wait, what? And I was like, none of these words make sense. But then I was like,
oh, now they make sense. That's fun. I don't really have anything. I've been very social the past couple weekends, and then I'm going to be social again the next couple weekends. So this weekend I'm going to the cottage.
Being social by going to the cottage. No, you're running away from the social.
I'm running away from the social by going to the cottage.
Next weekend you have a wedding?
A wedding, and it's Pride in Toronto, which I'm going to.
That's insane.
And then the weekend after, I'm going back to Toronto because it's my best friend's birthday, which is the long weekend.
Fun.
Yeah. So I just need a weekend to do
Go to
nothing.
the cottage.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
And try not to do work because I worked the past couple of weekends a little bit. So
I'm going to log you out of everything.
Yeah, it's not even that. It was like making proposals for things. So
logging you out of everything.
Canva.
I'll take you out of Canva.
No, I don't think I will have to.
I will log you out of your email.
Fingers crossed.
I'll steal your new phone.
I do have my new phone finally. If you saw our story yesterday, you knew that was a struggle for me, but I have it, so it's happening. Great. And I'm proud of myself. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm good.
Okay. I'm going to shut her down.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.
That was different.
I didn't
than
like that
last
one.
week.
I did not like that one. No.
Dr. Maria here again with another iFacts in Focus eye tip. Did you know that too much screen time can tire out your eyes? When you stare at a screen all day, your eye's near focusing system kicks into gear. When you overwork this focusing system, your eyes can get tired, sore, and blurry, and you can get headaches. Taking breaks away from screens and wearing magnifying reading glasses can improve your eye comfort. Check out my blog, justeyethings.ca, for more eye tips.
The Babies of Quinte podcast is recorded and produced at Starboard Communications, home of 95.5 Hits FM, Cool 100, and inquinte.ca.